For all you folks out there on the internet, welcome. We're glad to have you. I want you to know that this is not like C-SPAN. I'm not standing here alone. I actually do have a crowd behind me, so let's hear it out there. That's rock solid proof. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and I really want to thank everybody for the great support we've gotten throughout this campaign to this point. This last year has been incredibly exciting for Judy and I. We have traveled around in more places than you can imagine. We've talked to friends. We've talked to folks we've never met before. We've been to churches. We've had a great time just talking and listening. And our idea was the first thing we needed to do as a politician was to go out and listen. So we spent a year listening to folks, opening up our ears to the issues, making sure we understand the problems that Georgians are facing. When Judy and I sat down and decided that we were going to run for Congress, and I think it took a little arm twisting on my part, but when we decided that we were going to run for Congress, we decided on a couple of key things. We decided we would never compromise the honesty and integrity that had been the core of our lifetime. And certainly through a military career of nearly 34 years, we decided that we would never allow any political aspect to interfere with that integrity. We said I would take a voice to Washington, not just a presence. I will be heard. I won't just be present in Washington, but I will be heard, and I will be heard loud and clear. And above all, I will never allow political expedience to override my obligation to the security and the safety of the American people. And as we listened, we knew that Georgians were really quite fed up with what's going on in Congress. Not much has been done, and as we look at the record of performance of this Congress and this leadership, we find they really haven't accomplished much. We're fed up with the fact that they haven't done a single thing in energy. And right now, with gas prices at $4 and up, and a Congress that's arguing over the likelihood or the reasonableness of drilling offshore and drilling in Anwar, it's amazing to me that they are having the kind of dialogue in Washington that is morally and intellectually corrupt and bankrupt. We haven't built a nuclear power plant in over 2 decades, and we haven't built a refinery in almost 3 decades. And yet people are arguing over whether we should or shouldn't. It's well past time that we start taking our destiny in our own hands and facing our energy needs and going after those as fast as we can. And Georgians are fed up with a Congress that has absolutely failed in its obligation to secure our borders and to prevent illegal immigration. It's clear to me that the Congress must act and has not, and it's time to do that. They're fed up with our habitual addiction to wasteful government spending. They're fed up with Congress's failure to replace a tax system that is so difficult. We need to get a tax system that is simple, easy, and quite frankly, Georgians are fed up with the personal attacks of politics. And I felt that this campaign would be above that we would have a campaign of honest integrity. We would talk about the issues, and we would discuss those issues that are more important or most important to Georgians. Unfortunately, I find that's not the case, because this weekend, Jim Marshall chose in the Macon Telegraph to question my integrity, question my character. I know Jim is trying to save his job, but personal attacks have no place in this campaign. I will question his votes, I will question his performance, I will question his judgment, but I will never engage in a personal attack against any opponent. You know, at the heart of the campaign, though, at the basic heart of the campaign that we're in today, it's a case of Congress and its failed leadership to deliver for Americans. They simply have not delivered. You know it. I know it. All Georgians know it. But it doesn't seem like the congressmen know it. And Jim Marshall, and I'll tell you, some of his comments tell a lot about how he looks at this. He talked to the Covington Press and said, "Why are we trying to fix something that's not broken?" Well, I'll tell you what. Congress doesn't work, and it is broken. And Jim Marshall doesn't seem to understand that. That's why it's time for him to come home. We need a strong, visionary leadership in Congress to change the basic institution. The institution is failing. It's failing because leaders are not there in order to take charge, and it's about time we put leaders in place that will take charge. I want to quote just a quick quote from Ronald Reagan. And I've said this before, but he said, I do not believe in a fate that will fall upon us no matter what we do. But I do believe in a fate that will fall upon us if we do nothing. It's about time we start doing something, because for too long our Congress has not stood up and done what we'd asked them to do. We can resolve the issues facing this country. We just need leaders and people prepared to go to Washington and take the lead. With that, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your support and your friendship. God bless you all, and God bless America. Thank you.